Hey everyone! Hopefully you can hear me. I feel like you should be able to. So my little tripod. Hold on. Oh, had something on in the background. Sorry. I like how you equate it to like Luna, even though I have two black cats, because Luna is the star of like all of my videos. Apollo very rarely makes an appearance, even though he's in the room. Alrighty. So thanks for bearing with me as I test out some different stuff. I figured I would try out Twitch again and see how I like it. I don't know, it's been a while, so I figured I'd try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our community read. I'm gonna be using our Signs of the Times Oracle. So give me 1 second as I get the deck all warmed up. And then for our regular reads, we're gonna be doing the Philly Tarot again, which is right here. Apollo is like a silent king. He's very much I feel like in his worst, he is the reverse King of Swords, where he gets like ridiculously anxious about stuff and then he like decides that he's gonna punish people for it, and like because the anxiety he goes full like narcissist. But in the upright, I feel like he's the knight of cups in the upright. Luna is like let me see. Luna is more of what are her traits? I feel like Luna in reverse. Like if she's having a bad day, she's very much I feel like she is the queen of like wands in reverse, depending on the person. I feel like if it's little kids, she's a queen of wands, where she goes full hissy fit and like she's not having a good time. And then if it's like just her having a bad time with like Apollo, they're having one of their sibling rivalry moments, that she is more like, I feel like she's more like the Empress in reverse. And then upright, I feel like she's the Queen of Swords upright, mixed a little bit with the Page of Cups. Not Mog being the devil. That's rude. I'm gonna tell Mog he said that. Okay, let's see what our community read is, guys. Let's see what energy we have. Ooh, we have Smiley Face. This is the card of joy. I love this card. Let me adjust my lights. I had it set for something. There we go. I had it set for face cam, I guess. This is the card of joy. I love that it's like this sort of cozy sleeve style with the really cute nails poking out. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yes, you can. The nails are smiley faces. All this bright, warm yellows and just happy colors. So let's see what is surrounding our joy. We have succulents here. This is the card of resilience. So I think it's like, generally when resilience pops up, it's really an indicator that not everything is going the best. But with this joy card, it's like finding joy in the times that might be a little difficult, or where you feel like you're struggling or not doing your best, or whatever those different sort of negative connotative words might be. But I think overall is feeling like you're being resilient in those times, and in turn being able to find that joy in those moments. Yeah, Luke, I'm trying out the whole VTube thing because I thought it was cool. Ooh, and flamingo, fun. This is a card of fun. So finding joy and fun, and I think overall just being able to invite that energy into your life. I still feel like my lights are too much. Maybe it's my camera. I'll fix it later. Anyways, between the fun, between all the joy, between all the happy moments that you're starting to pull into your life, I think at the crux of it is you're able to do that because you are being more resilient in times that may not be as easy. And that is how you are able to bring the joy and fun back into your life. And I think that those are some key things that we might want to keep in mind. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side for now, and I'm gonna get this deck all warmed up for our first person. We have Ari, and let me read off who I have in the queue since I kind of had a whole kerfuffle with the queue earlier. I have Ari is up first. Following Ari, I have Midnight, Cookie, Mariana, and then Danny. If you don't hear your name, use !join to enter the queue. I feel like something's up with my camera, like this lens, like everything's a little off. Colors, something. It's fine though. I'll figure it out later. So I decided to try out the whole VTube thing because, like I said, I thought it was cool. So I'm still working on building up my character, but it's really cool because I made some really cool hotkeys. Like, and it was just really fun to set up. So I'm going to be using my Philly Tarot because I feel like it, and I feel like I didn't get as much use out of it during my lives because I've been so busy. So, all right, nice and shuffled. VTube Luke is like it's a little character this here. It's just like a virtual YouTuber, #VTube. Yeah, it's just a live 2D graphic that kind of moves around with your movements, and it's a very weirdly niche thing. It's big in the gaming community, I feel like. So do you want to know, Ari, how things are going to go at Duncan, or do you want to know how things will go between you and Matt? Because those are two different questions. I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. How do you guys not know what VTubes are? Like VTubing and VTubers. Am I just perpetually online? Is that what's going on? I feel like I'm perpetually online. So, yeah. So maybe that's what's going on. Hi, welcome, Sassy. It is a different app that it's a whole setup on the back end, Luke. I would have to so I virtual video into using OBS. and I've linked the VTube app into OBS, and then I push it to Restream. It's a whole thing. Happy 4th. Hope you're having a good holiday weekend. Okay, I'm gonna go with like how things will go if you go back to Duncan. Let's see. I might have missed a message, but hopefully YouTube's not filtering out messages again. YouTube's so weird. Like sometimes it just filters out messages and I don't see them for some reason. Alright, last card. So you have the 4 of Cups, the, let me move this up so you can see it. 4 of Cups, Ace of Swords, and then the 8 of Pentacles reverse. So there's, I would say emotionally, there's this level of like indifference about going back. It's one of those like it is what it is kind of things. And, but I would wonder if doing that means that you're missing out on other opportunities, because with the 8 of Pentacles reverse, it feels like you're not going to grow there. So you probably go back. It's like almost starting over at a place that you have already been at, but you don't get anything out of it. So with the Ace of Swords, it kind of gives this indication that you might have some, I see this as like near-term successes, like almost like instant gratification, but in the long term, it doesn't necessarily work out in your favor because there's either no room for growth, there's no promotions, there's no any kind of like opportunities in that position or in that with that company, so to speak. So at least not in that location. It very much makes it seem, especially with the 8 of Pentacles at the end, it very much makes it seem like it's kind of a dead end kind of place. But I would say that maybe some, kind of looking at the silver lining is that while that job might not be right for you, it definitely doesn't seem right. If you kind of keep your ears to the ground, you might start to realize what would be right for you. Okay, this isn't a job thing? Oh, it's very interesting. I still don't think there's anything for you there, but that is good context to know. I don't think that, I still see this as like the dead end of stuff where looking at it from that perspective, this indifference then feels like just between y'all. There's really nothing that is brewing there, and there's really no spark of anything. And this is just more so like, like the Ace of Swords really to me means like, this whole thing was interesting. It might be something thoughtful where you might be on their mind, but not in any particular way. Just paired with the 4 of Cups feels very neutral. It's just like, oh, I'm thinking of this person because we exchange numbers, but at the end of the day, I'm like, eh. But yeah, with the 8 of Pentacles reverse, this really indicates to me there is no growth that's happening. It's very much so like if you're willing and wanting to put in hard work in respect to meeting people or whatever, this particular instance isn't really going to be it for you. people your type if they don't tell you. Did they tell you? Midnight, go ahead. Your question is next. You're up next. Hey, Chelsea, welcome. Thank you, Luke, for helping out, my lovely mod for the night. All right, that's interesting. So you just asked them if you're their type or not, or they told you like unprovoked? I'm just so curious about how that worked. All right, Midnight, message from your ancestors. Let's pull an oracle card for you. Let's see, message from your ancestors. Ooh, coins. This is the card of good luck. So let's see. Let's see here. First repeat of the night. One more. Look what popped up. Oh, that they are your type. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. So you have good luck, but you have some interesting cards around it. I think that I know, right? Look at your stalker card. So overall, if I were to sum up the theme of your reading, is that, you know, things might feel like they are kind of coming apart. But I think that your ancestors are saying this is a good thing with this good luck card paired with the Tower. So I mentioned that we have our first repeat of the night, which is our 8 of Pentacles. This is really where I feel like maybe you should do some deliberate connections with your ancestors, because this is kind of like the Apprentice card where you're learning and growing and you're putting in your own work and due diligence and stuff like that, and building from there. But in doing so, I think it starts to highlight the things that need to be pulled down and pulled apart, and that's where this Tower card comes in. I think because it's the Tower specifically, I don't know that it's necessarily something that's on your radar. You might feel it, but it might not be specific to it might not be specific enough for you to actually identify, which can be a little scary, because that means there's a lot of things that are changing around you and kind of breaking things down to their foundations. But paired with the 8 of Pentacles, I think that's a good thing. And I think your ancestors are really reminding you that it's a good thing, even though sometimes we don't feel it in the moment. Because if that means you're building, right, this change might happen where we're not necessarily in control of it, but we're in control of everything else around it, and we have like the confidence to build back up when we're ready to, or build back up the areas that we feel like are most necessary. You just have that level of control that helps alleviate some of the scariness that I think people feel in the Tower card. So your stalker over here, we have the 4 of Swords, I feel like I don't even need to explain or swords to you. But I will say together we have the tower, which has that like fire element. We have the swords, which is air. It's gonna be a little combustive, which means I think like even though sometimes they agree with each other, fire and air, they grow and all of that. There's almost a conflict. I feel like between the tower and the four of swords specifically, where the tower is asked. Hi, Luna. Hi. Where the tower, right? It's really a card of like no control, but the four of swords is asking you to fund that control by taking a beat, taking a breath. Come on, let's go uppies. Let's go uppies. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Okay. But yeah, I think what it's saying too, I think your ancestors are like, this is going to happen. This moment's going to happen. You just kind of have to take a beat after it does, and reset and just kind of give yourself some R&R time, rest and rejuvenation, right, Luna? So some rest and rejuvenation. And I think overall, if we go back to our oracle card, just know that even though the tower is a little bit scary, this is good things that are happening. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I feel like we all do. All right. Up next, we have Cookie. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Ari, yeah, good luck with that. I guess just, general dating and stuff like that is how you get to know people. So hopefully that stuff goes well for you. Cookie, no, I won't do that. But I can do like the energy between you and Kosh. I don't do like anybody's thoughts or intentions or next actions if they're not here to consent to it. Oh, Midnight, happy to help out. It can be breakthroughs, Luke, and I think that the tower doesn't have to be scary. I think that it is in the sense of like the whole not feeling like you're in control. That part is scary. Minute, ew, don't lick me. All right, let's see. Energy between y'all. Last card. It's so hard shuffling with a cat on my lap, guys. So sorry if you hear a whole kerfuffle happening out here. There we go. Last card. So you have the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, or upright, and then the Page of Wands. It's very interesting because this is all court cards. Oops, did not mean to hide that. So I feel like in this reading, you are the center of the reading. Yeah. Your person, Kosh, the Gemini, is the King of Cups. And then the Page of Wands feels like the overall energy between y'all. And so it feels very much like, so we have Cups and Wands, water and fire. They don't really interact very well. They're very disjointed, and they mute each other out I don't feel like there's necessarily a connection here. Um, and I feel like overall y'all are on slightly different pages. I don't know who cautious to you, whether they're your friend or just someone you met, but it doesn't seem like y'all are on the same page in regards to um, anything emotional or romantic, I should say. But in general, with the Page of Wands, I think that this is interesting because I think that while there's nothing right now between y'all, it doesn't mean that there won't be in the future. And this is not to say that things would happen. It's just that there's just this air of exploration that can happen with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the explorer of the court cards, or someone who kind of likes to see how things work and like understand and maybe get a better idea, but it's very much not like an action card or like indicative of the energies changing. It's just overall good energy, I would say. But right now, I don't think that there's really anything between y'all. So I think that the positive of this is that the Page of Wands seems to indicate that there's room for growth. It's just you have to be willing to explore it and kind of be a little more active in that. Be a little more active in that if that's the direction you want things to go. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a disconnect here. I mean, y'all are facing the same directions, but not in the right way. So like, yeah, this Knight of Cups right here. Knight of Cups in reverse is generally like emotions have gone overboard and no longer really has a good sense of where they want to go, and just sort of overcome by disappointment, where the Queen of Wands is sort of the opposite, where she's very sure of herself and confident and understands. She has her eyes on things that she's passionate about and is willing to nurture them, and they just don't interact well. They're not the right places in life to yeah. But hopefully, so this is, I always say, like, I always try to talk about my private readings, shameless plug. But when I do my private readings, like, this is the overall energy, and this is like kind of what we're getting to. And I like to siphon this off and then dive in a little deeper, because there's layers under this Page of Wands. But, unfortunately, live streams only cater to a certain amount of time. So it is what it is. But you at least have an idea. You kind of have a little bit of leeway on how to go about, or that you need to go about some next steps, if that is the goal you're trying to get to. Alrighty, Mariana, you are up next. You did a past life reading, Midnight? Okay, let's see what is waiting for you this month, Mariana. Our second repeat of the night. I feel like this month is all about you regaining your own energy, and resetting it and being able to refill it. So I'll go left from right. We have the Five of Cups reversed, Four of Swords upright, and then the Eight of Cups upright. Five of Cups upright really indicates that, like you've kind of been in the state where you've just been emotionally drained and just sort of over it, having a hard time emotionally connecting to things that you previously enjoyed. And reversed is actually way more positive. It's a sense that you're finally getting out of that mindset. You're starting to be able to, like, metaphorically refill your cups and find those joys and emotionally reconnect with things. It's just not like the end all be all in terms of this month. I feel like this month is more of a journey of getting to that and feeling like you can be your old self in that regard. Bye, Luna. I can finally shuffle right again. In the middle here, you have the Four of Swords. This card is our rest card. This is where you just have to mentally take a break from things, being able to give yourself time to breathe and disconnect from things in order to get a clearer picture on how things are going. And I think that's going to be integral in being able to refill yourself emotionally, taking that break off and giving yourself the reset that you need. In that, I think it's going to become clear the things that you need to disconnect yourself from, the drainers in your life, the things that you can, right? Like, we can't disconnect from everything. Like, as much as my job drains me, I can't disconnect from it. But there are other things in our lives that just drain us, right? They're not beneficial to us in one way or another. And especially in your case, emotionally, they just are not fulfilling and might be the exact opposite, where they're actively pulling from your joy. So this very much mirrors our community read, where it talks about, being resilient and finding the joy and happiness and all of that. And I think part of that is going to involve you being, like, consciously deciding to walk away from certain things. So you've identified the stuff that doesn't work for you, right? And then once you've identified it, you have to move on from it. That's really what the Eight of Cups is saying. So that is the last stage, where you're identifying that you're ready to bring joy in. You're kind of resting, reflecting, giving you a chance to refill your batteries, so to speak, to do it. And then finally taking that step to turn your back on things that just don't serve you well, which is very difficult to do. But I think this month is going to be a pivotal part of that journey from what I see here. I feel like I'm going to have to reorient my deck soon. You're welcome, Mariana. Alrighty, Danny, you're up next. Let me read off who I have in the queue. So Danny is up next. Then I have Sassy, Chelsea, and Luke. Welcome to the queue, Luke. Again, don't forget to like this video. It helps others find me as well. Alrighty, Danny, let's a nice shuffle real quick. Let's see what the overall energy is between you and the Cancer Queen. Ugh. There we go. This is like the first time I feel like we've had a pentacle heavy repeat. As a community, I feel like I get a lot of wands and a lot of cups a lot of times. So we have our repeat of the night for the third time, which is our Eight of Pentacles. You have the Three of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Pentacles. So interestingly enough, I feel like the energy between you guys might be surrounded around your friend group. I don't know that there's necessarily anything, I would say, inherently romantic, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for the Cancer, Quinn. If you're looking for Quinn to be your friend, I see a lot of that in here. If you're looking for Quinn to be something romantic, then not so much. So let me know in the comments what you're leaning towards in that regard. But as I'm doing this, I'll just kind of go on and say what I see. So the Three of Cups is really a joyous friendship card, led by, in my opinion, the Four of Wands, which is another big celebratory card. I feel like that it very much feels like Quinn is becoming part of the friend group, just kind of becoming a natural part of the group, start to see him more, stuff like that, blase. But like in the center here, we have the High Priestess. To me, indicates that there's a level of, like, I guess I would call it, like, trust your intuition on where things are going. Excuse me, I have cat fur, like, ugh. Ugh. But yeah, I think, sorry. The High Priestess indicates to me that it feels to me, when the High Priestess pops up and stuff like that, that you're not necessarily at a crossroads, but you need to decide. This is on you to decide how you want things to go. It feels very neutral, and it feels very much like the choices in your hands, how the future looks. So overall, this feels very neutral because of that, because of this major arcana and the fact that it's a very, very neutral card in regards to this. And I love that, you know, the duality of these two pillars here. You can go one way or another. Are you going to go friend, or are you going to go romantic, right? It's up to you. But overall, I feel really good energy between you guys. I feel like this person, Quinn, fits really, really great into your friend group. And that, like, they're overall, I think that it seems like there's willingness to put in the work to build a better connection between y'all with this Eight of Pentacles. So if you're, it depends, I guess. And it seems like, okay, so you said you're not sure exactly. You're just open to see what develops. And I think that this is perfect, right? In that just openness to see what happens, this is where you lean into the High Priestess, where you kind of trust your intuition on where things are going, right? As they're starting to become more integrated into the friend group and maybe more integrated into your life in general. And then see where you need to be focusing that work on. Is it more so friendship, or is it more so romantic? Because right now I don't see it as either or. I see it as something that you can definitely shape, and you have control to shape. You're welcome, Danny. Yeah, I was just sitting with that for a second. I wanted to see if I could see anything else, but I love the readings where it's like you're in control and stuff like that. I love empowering my clients to take the next steps into their own hands, even though it's a little scary. All right, up next is Sassy. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. So I don't like the hat that I have on my VTuber is not synced right, and I cannot fix it. It's irritating the crap out of me. Oh, Sassy, I think Luna abandoned us for the night. Let me see. She might be... Yeah, she's under the desk. She's like, it's bath time. Luna, can you come up, please? You have a request. Come on. Got you. Okay. Can you help Sassy with her reading? Okay, there we go. We have the queen. We'll see what she says. All right, let's see what your future career looks like, Sassy. Sassy says, thank you, Luna, for your help. All right. So we have the Queen of Swords. We have the, come on, camera, you can do it. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Star in reverse. So you have a lot of swords here. I feel like this is something that's going to, yes, you even got a meow, right, Luna? I think that with the Queen of Swords, I think overall, and with the Eight of Swords, but I'll talk about that specifically in a second. I feel like this leans more in the like either technical field or teaching. And I say that because swords indicates very much more of a like thoughtful, internalized thing. The only thing that I think is a little extra with the queen here is that it might be with her nurturing side. It could still be more technical in teaching, but also, okay, bye, Luna. You got your meow and she's done. I feel like the Queen of Swords is someone who's very cerebral. She's really thoughtful. She's also very perceptive of the things around her. And I think that in regards to a career, that really makes me think of someone who leans more like logical in some way, whether it be someone who's just really good at intricate details of stuff, whether it be an engineer, an accountant, someone who develops like instructional things like that. But actually, let me sit with this for a second, because you also have the Eight of Swords in reverse. This gives very much like consultant in that field, where like you're able to rethink someone's previous thoughts and make them very clear. Oh, you write. Okay, what kind of things do you write? Because with the star, so the star card is like really like the star in reverse really gives me the whole like being able to, okay, so you said you're right, being able to clear up people's doubts and clean up things in regard to stuff that is a little more so I said technical, but I think it could be anything that has any like rules and regulation, whether it be law or I'm all over the place. This is actually very new to me, so sorry. This is really interesting practice for me in terms of career, but I think that you lean very much into being able to express yourself more technically, but still have that nurturing side of the queen where you can emote as well, and it helps to clear up, and you help with people that are dealing with like insecurities, feeling like they're trapped in a situation, and you're able to kind of bridge that divide and connect with people. The star card in reverse this is the card where you're like wanting to bring positivity to people that are not necessarily experiencing it right now. So, stuff like that. Oh, you've turned your poetry into music. That's so cool. Honestly, so reading the cards, I feel one way. Intuitively, I feel another. The big thing that was popping up to me, and sometimes I don't know, sometimes I don't always trust my intuition on things. I like to go with what I see in the cards. Lights. Stop it. The big thing that popped up was things that were therapeutic, where you could help people and reframe how things are happening in people's lives, but you can do it with a precision that others cannot, and you're able to fine-tune things, reframe things, and flip these things where people feel trapped in a situation. They feel a little hopeless. They feel like they are disappointed with how things have turned out, and being able to reframe that, whether and it could be both the technical side and the therapeutic side. And I think that's the balance that I am seeing weirdly between the cards and my own intuition and everything. It's really hard to reconcile internally. Oh, that is what you do. That's so cool. Okay, cool. I'm thank you for letting me know. I feel like I love the back and forth that lives can give sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, what am I feeling right now? Because this feels very logic based, but with the queen and with the star, it felt very like emotionally charged. So there's like that balance there. But yeah, I think that you're kind of on the right page. Maybe one of the things you might consider is how you can almost the what's the word I'm looking for? I keep wanting to say rigidity, but that's not it. It's more like the precision, I guess, of it. How you can build it almost into a program that you can give to people, that can give them like their own steps to try to solve situations, and then they could come to you for a more nuanced experience, if that makes sense. Real cool reading. Thank you for letting me do that for you. Alrighty, Chelsea, you're up next. Poetry is really interesting because I used to love poetry as a kid, and then I feel like I just started to really get away from it. Like I used to have all of the Toni Morrison books and like other poetry books geared towards kids, and then when I got older and leaned really, really hard into the sciences, it's like, I don't know, my brain couldn't handle it anymore. I could see someone writing a poem about ducks, because like I mean, Edgar Allan Poe wrote a poem about a raven, so why not some other avian creature, right? You're welcome. Thank you for letting me process my way through that. That was really helpful. Yeah? What's up? You ready for me to be done? I'm almost done. All right, everybody in the queue is in it. Don't worry. I just closed it because Apollo told me to. All right, let's call for Chelsea, and then I have Luke up. So Luke, let me know you're still in the chat. So midnight, I went to a Edgar Allan Poe like museum because apparently he had a big presence in Richmond, Virginia. Who'd have thought, right? And yeah, it was very cool. Luke, not gonna lie, me too. Every time I think of the Raven, I think of the Simpsons episode. Paulo, are you ready to watch TV? We gotta finish watching Drag Race, don't we? I don't know if you guys can hear Apollo meowing in the background, but hopefully you can. Alrighty, Luke, you are up next. Gonna finish with you. Yeah? Yeah. You're too big to get on my lap. I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry. Apollo is like twice Luna's size, and he's also not a lap cat, so he would get on my lap and then immediately get on the desk, and that would not be conducive to showing you guys your cards. So he's officially not allowed uppies. Hello. You're welcome, Sassy. Thank you for being patient, waiting in my queue and hanging out. Hope you have a great 4th. Are you doing anything special? General love reading, Luke? Who art thou? All right, let's pull 2 cards for my lovely mod of the night. All right, general love reading for Luke. Okay, one more. Here we go. You have the recycle card, which is, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why my camera is doing this. Let me turn down my lights a bit. Maybe that'll up the contrast. So the recycle card is recover, and then phrases. This says never give up. This is your motivation card. So I think you have some duality that is happening here, but thank you, Sassy. Alrighty. Oh, nice repeat of the night. Very much matches your oracle card. Let's see what our next card is here. Oh no. Here we go. And last card, let's see one more. Here we go. Woo, star card. Alrighty, Luke. Private. I don't have a minimum, but these are my tip options. Just let me know which one you use. I'll happily squeeze you in. So, Luke, you have the, let's scoot these things over so we can see everything. So you have the Recover card and the Motivations card, which very much mirrors the Four of Swords and the Star here. And then in the center, you have your King of Pentacles. So, your major themes here are about taking that time to recover, almost like refinding yourself, resetting, so to speak. So emotionally being able, or mentally being able to just take a break from all of that and reset how you go about that whole thing, how you go about things emotionally, how you go about letting things in emotionally, all of the above, right? And on the other side, right, I think that this really asks you to explore, like the things that you are hopeful for, the things in past relationships that you found positive. It mirrors this Four of Swords. Okay, Private, I will get you after this reading. It really mirrors this Four of Swords, in the sense that, like, this is telling you to take a break, but this is telling you to find ways to really rejuvenate yourself and find that healing and renewal that you need in order to embrace this King of Pentacles in the center. So the Star card specifically, like when it comes up in regard to like romance, right, it's really asking you to be optimistic and positive and finding ways to heal from the past. And this is going to be your kickoff for being able to do that. The King of Pentacles, I mean, you know, I'm biased as a Taurus girly, with my Taurus brother. I feel like the King of Pentacles is really like asking you to ground yourself, find that rootedness, and find that self-security that you can put forth in a relationship. Hey, happy 4th, Hot Sun. Be positive, not everyone is a toad. I feel like that needs to be a meme. But I think that, all of your cards are upright, so it feels very positive for you, Luke. I just think that right now you need to focus on, give yourself a break for a little bit and heal, and then put your best foot forward in regard to any future relationships. All right, let me check my Cash App account. I need to create like a password or something. I mean, if you've been doing that, then have you gotten to the point where you feel like the King of Pentacles? Because if so, then that is your that is your indicator that you're ready to go on to the next steps. Or do you feel like there's still a little bit more like resetting you need to do? Alrighty, private, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Chelsea, if you're still here after private does their question, I will gladly squeeze you in. I'm happy you found me too, private. Let's see. I'm going to pull 2 cards for this one. Maybe you should text Joseph a happy 4th of July. So I said I'm going to pull 2 cards, but I'm going to pull 1 more. Honestly, I would say no. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse here. This is really indicative of like aces in reverse are like signs of like a false start, really like the path forward is not going to work out. So I would say no, don't do it. The King of Wands gave me a little pause with just these 2 cards here. That's kind of why I did it. But I feel like this card is for me, not necessarily for you, where it's literally saying like trust your intuition. King of Wands, looking in the past, not looking forward. He is interested in the things that are already around him, so I wouldn't even bother. Yeah. How'd you find my channel though, private? If it seems so weird calling you private, I'm gonna PN. Happy you found me. But yeah, sorry. I wish that was like, yeah. Yeah. I think that, you know, let the cards fall where they lie, you know, no pun intended, and see what happens from there. Good luck, private. I'm glad that you felt more connected to me. Yay. It was probably Luna. It's always Luna. Everybody loves Luna. I should just like stop streaming and just put like a 24-hour stream on her where it's just like her cat collar and you can see what she a day in the life of Luna Andromeda. Oh, Luna's my cat. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were there when Sassy asked for like asked for a reading, and she also wanted like Luna there too. So she got a few meows, but Luna is clocked out for the night. She is laying down. And then Apollo came over to tell me that it was time to go off the live stream. So my bosses told me to go. Yes, I try to show her. It's hard because of the like top down. So I flipped her up once, and it was the most awkward thing on my side, but everybody loved it. So I'll try to. I need to figure out how to do a cat cam because she lays like under the desk. She's literally like right here, just under the desk. She shows up on my I do monthly tarot times with Priscilla from Priscilla's Tarot Corner, and she shows up a lot during those. Alrighty, Chelsea, let me do this real quick, and then I will get off of here and spend time watching TV with the cats. Let's see if you'll get that work from home job soon. Oops. So Chelsea, yeah, I think so. Between the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, definitely feels like you will. Aces tend to give off that air of like success in a lot of cases, new journeys, new things. So I think that in this regard, this would definitely be an indicator that you would get that work from home job soon. And I think that you'll start to feel a little bit more like you can bask in that Nine of Pentacles ambiance, I'll call it, where you start to feel like, you know, the money that you are bringing in is more worthwhile to your way of living, and it caters very much to your, I guess I'll call it like work-life balance. And yeah. So ultimately, I would say, yeah, you probably get that work from home job soon, before having to go to the warehouse. Midnight, I should definitely like redo, or restart, reconnect, whatever, be more active on this Space Cadets on Instagram. I don't post their stuff nearly as much as I should. Good luck, Chelsea. Alrighty, guys. I am gonna get out of here. So if you would like to join us over on Discord, I have been toying with the idea of bringing back our Tarot story times, where we do a cool, like, just short story. We pull cards to see what the plot plays out to be. It's just a fun way to engage in tarot practice and have some sort of like fun vibes. So I'm hoping to restart it at least once a month. I got a little burnt out and haven't done it in like 2 years. So this should be really, really fun. Also, we are participating in a tarot readathon. It's in tandem with another Discord. So our book club is joining in on the other Discord's tarot readathon, but it's been super fun. We've been kind of talking about our books that we read for the first week, and the cards that we pulled that helped us select those books and stuff like that. So, and there are different challenges in the other Discord. So if you're curious about that, go ahead and join our Discord. We have it linked in there. And of course, we do all the general like tarot, witchcraft stuff, where we share our decks and share our practices and stuff. Alrighty, so So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and loaf on the couch with the cats. Thank you guys for joining. I'm so happy that you guys found me. Thank you, Chelsea and Private, for being so patient. And yeah, see you guys on the flip side. Bye.